Hello students. Now today in this video we are continuing with the final account chapter. I am focusing in this video only on adjustment. Let's try to understand students how adjustments are done in final account. Now before starting with the adjustment, first I want you to understand the logic behind it. Now what do you mean by adjustment here? As you know, during the year whatever transactions we have made, we pass a journal entry, we record in the books of account by passing a journal entry. We then later on post it into our ledger book in all the ledgers, and then at the end of the year you close all the ledgers, you get the balances. Those balances you put it in trial balance. Now this trial balance is nothing but your cushion for making a final account. So looking at trial balance, you will make a final account. Now what happens when you close all the books of accounts and you write down all the balances inside the trial balance? Sometimes what happens, you get to know certain adjustment later that you have not recorded it in the books of account. Now there is a problem. You have already closed your books of account. Now how to record those transactions which we have not recorded earlier? The books of accounts are closed and you got to know later. So those things we write it as additional information, which you call it as adjustment. So when we do this sum, today we are not doing the sum, but whenever we are going to do sum on final account, in question they will give you two things: one, trial balance, and second, additional information, which we call it as adjustment. Now as I explained you just now, trial balance you make it at the end of the year after closing the books of account. So from books of account you make a trial balance. So student, can I say that trial balance, whatever you have written, are recorded, are already recorded in the books of accounts? Additional information, which we call it as adjustment. This you come to know later after closing the book. So can I say, student, that additional information, which we call it as adjustments, are unrecorded? They are not there in the books of account. Books of account got closed, and after that we come to know about the additional information. Are you understanding, student? Now additional information, adjustments are unrecorded. This is what the conclusion we are making now. So trial balance are recorded one, adjustments are not recorded. So now what is the benefit of having this understanding? Trial balance, as it is recorded, when you make a final account you have to write only once. Why? Because it is recorded in the books. But what about adjustments? It is unrecorded. So when you are recording in your answer in final account, you have to write it two times. Why two times, students? Because we are following double entry system. Tell me, during the year you recorded journal entry by giving one debit effect and credit effect. So certain account gets debited, certain account gets credited. This is how you pass journal entry for one transaction. So in one transaction when you record, you give one effect in debit, another effect in credit. So every transaction have two effects. Why? We are following double entry system. So when you are recording your transactions into the books of account, you have to write it with two effects. Now trial balance is already recorded one. So for trial balance item, you will write only once in your answer. But what about this additional info? What about these adjustments? These are unrecorded. Now you are recording at the time of final account. So you have to record it two times since we are following double entry system. So am I clear with this? So what we have concluded till now, students, that trial balance item, trial balance all items, you are going to write it in your final account once. And additional information, which we also called it as adjustment, you are going to write it two times in your answer. But have you understood why I have explained your reason? Trial balance, why once only? Because it is already recorded in the books of account. Why adjustment two effects? Because it is unrecorded. So students, let's start with adjustments now. Adjustment, since it is unrecorded, when you're watching this video, student, I want you all to sit with the notebook and pen and write down all these effects. These are kind of a notes which will help you to revise it later, especially at the time of exam. So adjustments are unrecorded. So if it is unrecorded, you have to give two effects. You have to give two effects. Am I clear with this, student? So adjustments are unrecorded and therefore you are going to write it 2 times in your answer. So see, students, I have already written the adjustment with the two effects. I want you to copy as it is, because writing this way will also help you to remember in your mind that we have to write 2 times. So this is a better way of taking a note of it. So let's see one by one all the adjustment. The very first adjustment is closing stock. Now this will be given in every sum. Closing stock will be given in every sum, in all the sum as a adjustment. Now closing stock. What will be two effect of closing stock, student? This we have also studied in the previous video. That closing stock is recorded in trading account credit side. When we did trading account ka video, there I have explained you that closing stock is always recorded in trading account credit side. And second effect, as I said, adjustment to effect. So you have to give second effect. So whatever stock is left at the end of the year, that is called closing stock, and you have to write it as your asset. Whatever stock is left, it is our asset. We are owner of that goods. So those goods which are lying in the business at the end of the year are closing stock and it is our asset. So give second effect on the asset side of balance sheet. Am I clear with this, students? So always give two effect for closing stock. You will record in 2 places. One in trading account credit side, second in balance sheet asset side. Now important thing, students, even I want you to take down in your notebook. Important note is, if 2 values are given, sometimes they will give you closing stock ka 2 values. They will give you market value, they will give you market value and cost price. So sometimes they will give you both the values. So there are 2 values given to you. Market value, cost price. What the rule says? The rule says whichever is less. If the market value is less, record that in both the places. If cost price is less, record cost price at both the places. Am I clear with this? So which one to consider? Which amount to consider among the 2? You will consider whichever is less. Let's take one example for your understanding. Suppose market value is 25,000 and cost price is 20,000. So tell me, students, as per the rule, whichever is less. As per this rule, which amount to consider here? 20. 20 is a lesser amount. So 20,000 will be recorded in trading account credit side. 20,000 will also be recorded in balance sheet asset side, because we need to give 2 effects for adjustments. Am I clear with this, students? Now, let's understand the second one. Outstanding expenses. Also remember alternative word for outstanding. What do you mean by outstanding, students? Unpaid. So in exam, they may use alternative words. So don't get confused in exam. They may say outstanding expenses as unpaid expenses. So you need to understand both the words. You need to know that both the words mean same only. Now let's understand 2 effects. First effect, you will always add to related item. What do you mean by related item? If in exam they say outstanding wages, so you will add to wages. What if they give outstanding salaries? They may give you any expenses. Outstanding salary, outstanding wages, outstanding electricity bill. They may give you any of the expenses. So if it is outstanding salary, you will add to related item, that is salary. So add to salary. If it is outstanding wages, you add to wages. So I am not writing particular item here. I am writing anything related which they have given in the sum. So if they have given outstanding wages, add to wages. If they have given outstanding salaries, add to salaries. If they have given outstanding insurance, add to insurance. Am I clear with this, students? But this is your first effect. So first effect is always add. We always add the outstanding amount. What will be your second effect, students? You will write it as a liability. Why? Because it is unpaid. You have to pay this. You haven't paid. It is payable by nature. You have to pay this. In the future, it is payable. Whatever is payable is your liability. So write second effect as your liability. Am I clear with this? Now, important note. If given in trial balance, it may happen that in exam, they may give you outstanding wages in trial balance. Now, as I explained you just now only, just before 2 minutes, that if anything is inside the trial balance, it is recorded one and therefore you will write only once. So, if it is given inside the trial balance, then record it only once. Where? Which side you will record? Which one to record? Balance sheet liability only. So, you have to give this effect only. If it is inside the trial balance. If it is given as a adjustment, then yes. Two effects. One effect is in like adding to the related item. Second effect is in balance sheet liability side. Am I clear with this? So also students, take a note of this. If given in the trial balance, then record in balance sheet liability only. So you will be giving only one effect if it is inside the trial balance. Now third adjustment. Prepaid expenses. I also want to give you alternative word for prepaid. Prepaid is also called advance. Prepaid is also called advance. So if advance is given in the question, it means prepaid only, students. So prepaid, again two effect, it is given in adjustment. So two effect. First effect is always less. You have to minus from your prepaid expenses. Now whatever related expenses they have given, if they have given prepaid insurance, minus from insurance. If they have given prepaid wages, minus from wages. If they have given prepaid salary, minus from salary. So prepaid always less and outstanding always add. Remember this way. Outstanding always add and prepaid always less from the related item, whatever they have given. And second effect, since this is an advance given by you, it is asset for you. So you will record on the asset side. So these are the two effects. But students, again important note, if it is given in trial balance, you know, if it is inside the trial balance, then you have to give only one effect. What is that one effect? Balance sheet asset. So you will record this part. You will give only balance sheet asset side. So what if they have given inside the trial balance prepaid insurance? You will write it in balance sheet on the asset side. Just give one effect. If in question they give you inside the trial balance, what if they give as a adjustment, students? Then you give two effects. Always less from the related item and balance sheet asset. Am I clear with this, students? Let's move on to the fourth adjustment now. Depreciation on asset. You know what do you mean by depreciation? Depreciation means reduction in value of assets. So whenever your value of asset decreases, falls, we call it as depreciation. So as the meaning says, what you will do with the value of asset? You have to reduce it. So minus. So less from asset. And less from asset means it will go in balance sheet. First effect is in balance sheet, minus from asset. Second effect, tell me if your value of asset is decreasing, it is a profit or loss, students, for you? It is a loss. So where to write loss? You will write loss in P&L account debit side. Debit all expenses and losses. You know this rule very well, student. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. So since this is a loss, in the value of asset is a loss, so you will write it in P&L account debit side. Am I clear with these two effects? Now, fifth adjustment, goods distributed as free sample. Now students, I want to give you a shortcut here. So whenever any adjustment is related to goods, your first effect it has to be inside the trading account. So the next adjustments which I am going to take, all are related to goods. Check here, all are related to goods. All are related to goods. So what I have done, students, in this video, I have taken all goods related adjustments together. So it becomes very easy to understand. So whenever it is goods related adjustment, definitely your first effect always will go in trading account. Check, in all the adjustment, your first effect is trading account only. And it is on the credit side. So goods distributed as free sample, your first effect is trading account, credit side. Since goods is going out, you write it on the credit side. Credit what goes out. Now, this is one effect. If you are giving as a free, you are giving goods, you are distributing goods as a free sample. You are distributing as free. If you are distributing it as free, tell me, students, it is a loss. So where to write loss? In P&L account. On the debit side, debit all expenses and losses. So it will go on the debit side as a loss. And since you are distributing goods is going out, credit what goes out will go in trading account on the credit side. Am I clear with both the effects? Now, goods destroyed by fire, or they may say goods lost by theft. The effects are same. So I have written both the adjustment together. Goods destroyed by fire, lost by theft. So in both the situation, you have to see whether the goods are insured or goods are uninsured. Let's understand first insured. If it is insured, you have to give three effects. Your first effect, as I gave you shortcut, anything related to goods, your first effect is fixed. It will go in trading account credit side. Students, let's take one example. Suppose goods destroyed by fire or lost by theft is of 10,000 rupees. So, in trading account, credit side, you show in your books that you lost your goods of rupees 10,000. Now, since you have taken an insurance policy, it is insured goods, definitely you will go to insurance company since you have taken a policy and you will ask for a claim money. So, insurance company agreed that we are going to accept your claim up to rupees 8,000. So how much you are going to receive from insurance company? You will receive from insurance company 8,000. It is receivable. If it is receivable, it is an asset. So this is a golden rule. Receivables are your assets and payable are your liabilities. So since this is a claim money, students, this is a claim money. So claim amount is your receivable amount. It is an asset. Write it. So this is your second effect. Write it as asset in the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, on the asset side, you will write the claim money of 8,000. Tell me, students, compare and tell me how much of goods you lost? 10,000. How much insurance company is going to pay you? 8,000. So is there a loss? Yes, students. There is a loss of 2,000. You lost your goods because of fire, because of theft of rupees 10,000. Insurance company agreed to give you 8,000. So how much you lost? Here you lost 2,000. So where to record loss? You will record loss in P&L account. In P&L account, which side of it? Debit side. Debit all expenses and losses. So you will show a loss of 2,000. You will show amount, claim amount receivable of 8,000. You will show that 10,000 ka goods lost because of the fire and theft. So these are the three effects which you are going to write if the goods are insured. Am I clear with this example? Now, what if it is uninsured? So again, I am taking the same amount, 10,000, uninsured. We have not taken any policy. So in trading account, credit side, you show that you lost goods of 10,000. Now students, tell me, it is uninsured and will you go to insurance company now? No. Are you going to get any amount? No, you won't get a single rupee from insurance company. So entire amount is a loss. So where to write loss and how much is loss? Entire amount is a loss, 10,000. So show this loss on the debit side. debit all expenses and losses. So uninsured, you are going to give 2 effects. If it is insured, you will give 3 effects. Am I clear with this? So just take down the amounts also for understanding this adjustment, students. You can pause the video and you can write down, you can take down the amounts for better understanding. Now, the 7th adjustment, goods withdrawn by partner. Since we are doing partnership final account, they will say goods withdrawn by partner. Goods word is given. Definitely one effect will go in trading account credit side. Credit word goes out, goods is going out because partner is taking away. So one effect is definitely in trading credit side. Second, partner's capital on the debit side. So one effect is on credit side, another effect is on debit side. So in partner's capital account, you will write it on the debit side because this is a drawing. So whenever partner takes away goods for personal use, it is a drawing. Drawing, you will write it on the debit of capital account. Am I clear with this? Now next adjustment, goods purchased but not recorded. Again, goods word, I have given you a trick here. Whenever it's a goods, one effect, your first effect will always go in trading account, but this is on the debit side. Why? Because you have purchased the goods. So you have to add to purchase. You have to add to purchase. And whenever it is a purchase, the amount is payable. When I say payable, it becomes a liability. So write it on the liability side, and on the liability side, you will add to your creditors. Students, I made a code word to understand, to remember both the effects. What is a code word? PC plus. Your code word is PC plus. P for purchases. C for creditors. PC plus means add to purchase, add to creditors. So you also remember this code whenever given goods purchased but not recorded. So goods purchased but not recorded, the code word is PC plus. What do you mean by PC plus? Add to purchase, add to creditors. P is for purchases, C is for creditors. So remember this way, PC plus, add to purchase, add to creditors. And where you write purchase? In trading account debit side. Where you write creditors? Balance sheet liability side. So this code word will help you to remember both the effects. Likewise, just opposite of this, goods sold but not recorded. Goods sold but not recorded. Again coding for this, SD plus. What SD plus means? S for sales, D for debtors. So add to sales, add to debtors. Where you record sales in trading account on the credit side. So you add to sales on the credit side of trading account. D stands for debtors. Where you write debtors? Balance sheet asset side. You add to your debtors on the balance sheet asset side. This is how you will remember with the trick of this coding. SD plus, add to sales, add to debtors. Am I clear with the explanation, student? Hope you have understood all the 2 effects of the adjustments. Thank you.